If they were really more important than you, would they have to act like it? Or would they just be able to go off and live their lives? We're going to get into this one. If they were more important than you, would they have to act like it? The answer is no. Because if someone was more important than you, what they would do is they would just go off and be important, you know? But people who aren't more important than you, what they have to do is they have to play themselves. And they have to pretend that they're better than you when they aren't. And that's a sad state to be in. Because being important would make you important. If you were a doctor and you were needed, that would give you a feeling of importance. If you had a paper route and, people needed your newspaper and they relied on your newspaper for information, that would make you important. All right? If you made a special drink, some lemonade, threw some little blueberry in there, maybe some watermelon, I don't know. And it was like some little super health drink. And people needed it to survive. And, you put everything in there, plus a missing secret ingredient. People would, if it would make people younger, or if it would reverse age people, or it cured some type of cancer, it would make you feel important. If there was something that you knew that you could help people with, that they needed to know, that was some vital information, that would make you feel important. You wouldn't have the need to compete. You wouldn't have the need to try to prove to others your importance. And you wouldn't have to try to get other people to acknowledge you as important or see you as important. So it really all depends on how a person views themselves. But you'll have people who will see that you view yourself as an important person. So you carry yourself a certain way. You program your mind a certain way to think a certain way. You curtailed your thoughts to a certain way of thinking. You've rearranged your thought pattern. You have yourself feeling a certain way. Not that you're feeling better than anyone else, but you're just feeling the type of person that you are. Because, you've worked hard to a certain extent to reach a certain level of expertise. And that would cause you to have a different air about you, a different energy, a different feeling that you give off to people. So when you know you're important and you've worked on yourself and you've raised yourself to a certain level of life, you would know that you're important because of what you have to offer, whether to society, to your group, to people, or to the human race as a whole, which is pretty much the only race, the human race. But that's a whole nother video. But some people will see you just doing you and moving throughout your day, throughout your life. And they're going to want some of that. They're going to want some of that positive energy. But some don't know how to go about getting it. So instead of cultivating it themselves, what they do is they put themselves in your way. They play make pretend, and they turn into a toddler. They turn into a 3-year-old. They turn into un bebé. When I was in Spanish class back in school, when they were talking about kids or, babies, the word for Spanish, the baby word for Spanish, I believe, was un bebé. Un bebé. And, that was something that I always laughed about. I was like, un bebé, me and my comical humorous self. I found that humorous. I was just walking around talking to myself, talking about some un bebe, you know. But either way, it is however you choose to feel about yourself. Being important to someone that's important, that's not important. If you're trying to be important to someone that views themselves as important, you're not going to get the desired result or the effect that you're trying to get, because that person is going to be too busy in their own level of importance, their own realm of importance, in their area of expertise. Even if this person just goes to the gym every day and go to work every day and go to sleep, that person feels like they're important because they have something that they do, that they love to do, that's important to them. If you want to feel important to yourself, it's important that you find something important to do. And just trying to appear important to others is not enough. I mean, you could be important to the guy on the third floor. You could be important to, the people in your building. You could be important to the people in your neighborhood. All you want. Whatever floats your boat, You could be important to whoever. Maybe you know some information. Maybe you got the hookup. Maybe you the plug. I don't know. All right. Yeah, shout out to the plug, of importance. Maybe you are the plug for importance. I don't know. But as long as you find a way to be important to yourself, that's really all that matters. You don't need anybody else to view you that way. And you don't need anything to make you feel that way. You don't need to go out and buy things to make you feel important. I know some people do that, and it's a good thing. But I'm not talking about on that level. We're not talking about on the treat yourself. Of course, treating yourself makes you feel important. And a lot of people use treating themselves as a way to feel important, and I'm not knocking that. What I'm saying is you don't need to go out and buy something for the validation from other people to make you feel important. You want to make yourself feel important by going out and treating yourself to something nice, you do that. Nobody wants to treat you, you treat you. You make yourself feel important. All right? You love you. As I've said many times on this channel once before, and I'll say it once again, sometimes we gotta love ourselves, because self-love is extremely important, but it's important that we don't make our self-love toxic, on the level to where we are toxic to other people because they don't want to love us. Somebody doesn't want to love us, that's quite all right. We have to accept that and love ourselves. But there are some people who put so much love into themselves that it's not important to them whether somebody loves them or not, because they're already important to themselves. They value themselves. They have their own value system. They love themselves. They appreciate themselves for who they are. They don't need to change for anybody else. They don't need to be anyone for anybody else. They don't need to buy anything to prove to anyone that they're him or they're her. You could just be yourself, and that's important enough for you, just being your true, authentic self. All right? And if other people don't view you as important, you know what Bernie Mac said. Boom. If they don't like you, boom. All right? He said, come up the wall sideways. If people don't appreciate you, that's okay. If people don't like you, that's okay. If people don't think you're important, that's okay. You have to pour into yourself. You have to get used to being the one that sees you the way you want to be seen first. You have to be used to being the one who views you the way you want to be viewed first. You have to be the one that appreciates you for who you are first. That's how you become important, by not allowing the validation of others to make or break you. Because if they do, they're only going to make a fake you. If you allow the opinions of others to make or break you, it's only going to make a fake version of you. a you that is out here searching for a okay or a yes man or a validation from somebody else. And that's not the way you become important in life. The way you become important in life is by honing a craft, honing a skill, making yourself better, increasing your level of know-how, increasing your level of skill. That's how you become important. If you know how to do something that not many people know how to do, or if you know how to do a skill that only a few people know how to do, or you raise your level of skill to a level of skill that is unmatched, by default, you are going to be important because you're going to be providing a service that is needed. You're going to be able to provide something that is needed, a need. All right, people are going to need what you have. They're going to want what you have to offer. All right, when it's a hot day and somebody's on the street selling fresh, cold, ice cold lemonade, that person is needed. They have something to offer. Somebody that's, traveling by is going to, yo, I got $1. Here you go. I got $5. Here you go. Lemonade probably done jumped up from $1 to at least $5. Them kids ain't playing today about that money. How much is that? $20. Okay, I support you kids. I got you. Yeah. Like when you try to go support sports teams and things like that, those kids feel important because they're a part of something. Maybe you need to go find something to be a part of. But either way, those kids view themselves as important first because you have to have a level of self-importance to want to go be a part of something. You have to feel that you're important and you have something to offer or something to give. All right, most people who want to join something, unless it's like something that, you don't have to have much value, or, unless you're joining something to like try to find yourself or to give yourself a status or to give yourself some type of identity. You shouldn't join something to give yourself an identity. You should have an identity already. You should already identify yourself as something. People play sports because they already identify themselves as an athlete. I identify myself as an athlete. I identify myself as this kind of person. I'm tough. I'm strong. I got it going on. I'm fast. I'm quick. I'm able to hit. I'm able to shoot. I'm able to dribble. I'm fast. I could cut. I got speed. I could juke. I could cover. I could block. I got good defense. Got good offense. They view themselves as already valuable. So they're like, you know what? Let me be a part of this team. I could add something to it. People who are important, they add something to other people. You don't just wake up and just say you're important and other people look at you that way because that's what you want. You have to add value. You have to have something to add to someone else or their organization or their group or their business or them in general. You have to have something to add, something to give in order for other people to see you as important. All right, back in the day when people had a medicine man in the village, and when you get sick or you got a disease or you got a parasite or you're sick, you have a health issue, the medicine man was that guy. The medicine man was the OG of the village. He was important. He crush up some sage, crush up some beetroot, crush up some maca berry or some acai berry, and you was good. Disease gone, cold gone. That's ancient stuff passed down to that medicine man. He was the kid around the older person that was crushing up all the stuff and making it into some health cocktails when he was a seedling. Now he done grew up into a big oak tree. Now he got to help everybody. Of course you got to knock on my door while I'm making a video. Of course you do. Hey, how can I help you, buddy?
Yeah, you shower?
Yeah, what about it?
Yeah, don't water too much.
So why would you knock on the door now about that?
No, the water.
Yeah.
You cut outside, maybe water outside the pani down.
I can't even understand what you're saying. What's up, man? You gotta come in here right now.
Only 1 minute.
Right now.
Okay.
You know what I make videos. That's how I pay my rent. You just kind of interrupted that.
You don't understand?
Yeah, nah, but like you have to come right now though, because I'm really in the middle of something. You just interrupted it.
Leak the water.
Sure, sir. Come in, buddy. Come on in, man. I think you got a camera in here or something. Or you, I think you watching me. Go ahead, buddy. Do your thing, man. Do your thing, buddy. So when people, you know what? I'm just gonna start this over. So it is what it is. Everybody, as you see, needs to feel important. I've been sitting in this room for about 5-6 hours, and as soon as I start my video, somebody needs to come in here because they need to feel important. They probably have a camera in here. Earlier today, when I had I finished drinking a can of soda, you know, and I go downstairs to like go check on some business or whatever, and the owner of the building ironically has a can in his hand and he throws it in the trash. But this is growth for me because I feel that I'm important, and I'm so important that people need to knock on my door and interrupt my videos while I'm in the process of making it. I left earlier. I've been up since 8 o'clock this morning. He could have came in here and did this any other time, but as soon as I start my video, I'm in here talking or I'm on the phone. They know that I'm an important person, that people can look at you and tell that you're important. Sometimes people feel that you're a little too important and they need to know what you're doing. All this man came in here and did was flush the toilet. He ain't coming here to do nothing else. He came in here and just flushed the toilet. So, you know, there's a little bit of stalking everywhere you go, and like when you have a certain level of intelligence, you see things for what they are. You know that people are trying to stop you. You know that people are trying to interrupt you. You know that people are trying to make things hard for you or difficult for you because you could just feel it within your spirit. I was sleeping. I was taking a nap. I was chilling. I was doing so many other things to where he could have came in and did that earlier. But of course, as soon as, you know, they hear you in here either doing something or making something, they don't care. They own this place. So for someone like me, like I definitely have to continue on my journey to success because like places like this, they're convenient to stay, and I'm grateful that I have a place to stay. But like I probably will have to find another place to go do my videos, like outside, or this is why I always do my videos out in the woods, because there's always some type of spirit, you know, that has to come and see what I'm doing, or it has to come interrupt, or they have to let me know that, hey, we're watching you from inside this place and we own this place. This place is ours. We control this place. We have control over you. And it's like this is why I have to be by myself and away from people, because whether I stay at somebody's house, whether I stay at somebody's apartment or somebody's hotel, it's always going to be some type of spirit that has to come interrupt me while I'm in the middle of doing something, because I'm an important person. And shout out to all the other important people that understand how difficult it is to try to, you know, do something when you have certain spirits that feel they're more important than you. Well, this is my place. I can just come in and see what you're doing and interrupt you whenever I want. Well, that's why I'm not going to be staying here too much longer. I'm probably going to find some other place to stay, because it's to the point to where I'm tired of, you know, I'm tired of these spirits. So what I have to do is I have to, you know, get myself some other means and some other ways of being able to take care of myself and have a place to stay, primarily either sleep in a car or, you know, get me a apartment, or just work towards putting a down payment on a home, because it's annoying to have people try to interrupt you because they feel they're important. So anyway, enough of that. People feel they're important, and you know they're going to basically try to make themselves more important than you, and that's extremely frustrating. You know, I'm doing a good job at containing it, but you know, I really feel some type of way about that. You know, I don't like that. And when you have a spiritual sense, you can tell and you know why people are doing things, because you have a sixth sense. You can tell that people are trying to interrupt you. You can tell that people are trying to be you can tell that people are trying to be difficult, you know, but I have a stronger mind than I did a couple months ago. So I'm used to this, you know, I'm not new to this. And every time when I stay at a place like this, the Indian people, they always feel the need to knock on the door and interrupt. When I stayed, this was a few months ago in a whole nother state halfway across the country. The same thing happened. I was in the room all day, and as soon as I started my video, the person really felt the need to come in and interrupt it, because they know what I'm doing is important. They know what I'm doing has a lot of value. People know we live in a day and age where everybody has a camera phone. Everybody makes videos today. It's nothing special for someone to be making videos, but you'll have people who try to bring a certain amount of stress in a person's life because they want to put you at a lower vibration, and they want to try to ruin the things that make you feel important. They want to try to make you feel less important because you know you're important and they know you're important. All he did was come in here and just walk in the bathroom and walk out. This man is so nosy, and I'm paying for this place. This man is so nosy that he felt the need to come in here and interrupt what I was doing. Why? Because this is his place and it makes him feel important. So, some people, they do positive things with their level of importance. Some people do negative things with their level of importance. But depending on if someone is negative to you because they want to feel more important than you, don't let it bother you. You see how I handled the situation. I spoke to him. I felt some type of way about it, but I had no other choice to let him do what he had to do because this is his building. And if I'm staying here, I have to accept that, even though that is difficult for me to accept. So I'm not going to give up like I always don't do. I'm never the type of person to give up. But I like the level of growth that I have because I'm still going to keep going. I'm not even going to edit that out the video because I think a lot of targeted individuals need to see that they're not the only ones going through this. It's a lot of people who stay at a lot of places who are more important than all the people that they're around. And, people feel the need to bother them some type of way. So, people who aren't important as you, they're going to try to pretend that they are, and they're going to try to force their importance onto you. Like, I'm important to me. I don't have to force myself onto anybody else. Nobody needs to know that I'm important. No one needs to know, hey, I'm important. Don't you know that? I do things to make myself feel important. I don't have to be an asshole to make myself important to anybody else. I don't have to force myself on anybody to feel important to anybody else. And I don't have to make anybody view me as important. That's not what I have to do. I view myself as important, and I do things that make me feel important. That's what I do. So shout out to all the people who know that they're important, that don't need to try to prove it to anybody else. Some people they don't look at themselves that way, and they actually will use your energy because you're important, and they'll try to basically feel important off of you because you actually are important. So what they have to do is, oh, okay, there's an important person in that room over there, or there's an important person over there. Let me go, flex on them. Let me go show them that I'm better than them. Let me go use my power over this person. This is why a lot of chosen ones and a lot of targeted individuals, we have to get away from people, because you'll have low vibrational people who are playing games with you and who are trying to act like they're not doing what they're doing. But it is what it is. This is his place. He feels important enough to do that. Hey, get your shine on, sir. You're not going to stop me. But everybody wants to be a star. The people that don't even care about being a star are always the ones that always end up becoming successful. It's like people that I don't care about fame. I don't care about status. I don't care how people view me. I view myself a certain way, and that's what matters to me. That's what's important to me, how I view myself. How I view myself is important to me. That's the only thing that matters. All right. So if they were really that important, would they have to act like it, or would they just go off and live their lives? But when you are an important person and other people feel the need to control you, they can't just let you go off and live your life, because that's too much freedom for you. That's too much positive energy for you. They see that you have a lot of positive energy. They got to come in and steal some. They have to make themselves known to you, and they have to behave weirdly. All right, there are so many videos that I've had where people will, try to come in the room, try to interrupt, try to see what I got going on, try to see what I have. They're just nosy. They want to see everything that you have. They want to see